Men don't fall in love the way women think. They don't fall because you were perfect, or beautiful, or loyal. They fall because you touched the one part of them nobody else dares to touch, their ego. And here's the twist. Most women try to protect a man's
you were
ego.
Alone, did you?
They tiptoe around his feelings. They validate him. They cheer for him. They do everything right. And that's exactly why he never becomes obsessed. Because obsession isn't born from comfort. It's born from disruption. It's born from the moment he realizes you're not impressed by him, yet you're still interested. That combination confuses him, then challenges him, then hooks him. Because men don't chase approval. They chase the person who doesn't hand it out easily. But here's where it gets crazy. The right kind of ego friction doesn't push him away. It creates an emotional imprint, a trigger his brain keeps replaying. The moment he feels it, everything changes. Stay with me, because the darker part is coming. Every man carries two versions of himself. The man he shows the world, and the man he silently fears he is. When you accidentally hit the gap between those two, that's when his ego wakes up. Not in anger, but in fascination. Because suddenly he feels something he rarely experiences around women. Tension. A pressure to rise. A feeling of being seen. A spark that says, "You're good, but are you good enough for me?" And here's the wild part. Men link this ego tension with attraction, not because it hurts, but because it activates them. A man will forget the woman who praises him nonstop, but he will never forget the woman who made him level up. Not by insulting him, not by humiliating him, but by challenging him in a way that felt personal. Because deep down, men fall for the woman who makes them feel like there's something to win, something to prove, something to chase. And if you keep watching, I'll show you how to create that exact dynamic without manipulation. Subscribe before you forget, because the next part gets even crazier. Desire doesn't grow in ease. It grows in friction. Think about it. Every man wants to feel powerful, but he only feels powerful when something requires strength. And in dating, that something is you. But here's what most women get wrong. They believe being too easy will make him stay, when actually it does the opposite. When you give him everything from attention, validation, emotional certainty, and reassurance, he stops fighting for you. He stops thinking about you. He stops valuing you. Not because he's ungrateful, but because his brain stops receiving the emotional spikes that create attachment. Men bond through struggle, through effort, through trying. And when there's nothing to try for, his ego goes quiet. And so does his interest. But the moment he feels even a little resistance, not rejection, but resistance, his mind switches into pursuit mode. You become a challenge, not a difficulty, a challenge. And men don't walk away from challenges. They attempt them over and over again. But here comes the part nobody talks about, There's a difference between hurting his ego and wounding it softly. A harsh wound pushes him away. A soft wound pulls him in. A harsh wound makes him defensive. A soft wound makes him curious. Here's how soft ego wounds sound. I like you, but I'm still figuring out if our values match. You're fun, but I don't get impressed easily. You're charming, but I don't rush into things. See the difference? You're not attacking him. You're not insulting him. You're not belittling him. You're simply showing him he hasn't won you yet. And that feeling is addictive to men because it hits the exact spot where ego meets desire. He starts thinking, wait, she sees me, but she sees through me too? Why hasn't she fallen already? What does she know that other girls didn't? And suddenly, he's replaying every conversation, every text, every moment, trying to figure out the part of himself he thinks you're evaluating. That's how obsession begins. But here's where most women ruin it. They switch to validation too early. Don't do that. We're about to talk about the one rule that keeps his ego chasing instead of relaxing. If you want him obsessed, here's the golden rule. Reward effort, not presence. Most women reward his presence. He texts, instant validation. He calls, instant availability. He shows up once, instant emotional commitment. But men don't value what comes easily. They value what requires consistency. So instead of rewarding his existence, reward his effort. If he plans something, appreciate it. If he follows through, acknowledge it. If he invests time, match it. Then stop. Give him just enough to keep going, not enough to feel finished. Because when a man feels finished, his ego shuts down, his drive lowers, his curiosity dies. The moment he realizes you're not a trophy he can just pick up, but a journey he has to continue. His attachment locks in. We're halfway through, and the next part is the psychological engine behind your power. Would you survive this dynamic? Comment below. Men don't fall for you when you're always available. They fall for you when your availability feels earned. Not because you play games, but because you have a life, a purpose, a rhythm, a world that existed long before him. Here's the truth. Men don't want to be your whole life, but they want to feel like they're working their way into it. When you're busy, not pretending. When you're focused, not forcing, he starts adjusting himself around you. Your time becomes valuable. Your presence becomes meaningful. Your attention becomes precious. Controlled unavailability tells him, I like you, but my world doesn't stop for you. And that's the exact sentence his ego can't resist, because now he's not the center. He has to become worthy of the center. This forces him into pursuit, naturally, not manipulatively. But here's the twist part. You can't stay unavailable. You have to give him windows of connection, moments where he feels chosen, not because he demanded it, but because you decided it. That balance destroys every other woman in his mind. And the next section reveals why. Every man remembers one thing: how a woman made him feel about himself. Not her looks, not her body, not her voice, but himself. When you hit his ego with soft friction, then reward his effort, then pull back with controlled unavailability, you create a loop in his brain, a loop he can't escape. He starts thinking, she's the woman who challenges me, but she still wants me. She doesn't chase me, but she chooses me. She doesn't need me, but she values me. These contradictions glue him to you, because the male ego thrives on duality, feeling capable and craving more at the same time. You become the only woman who makes him feel alive, awake, tested, seen. And here's the wildest part. He will compare every other woman to you. Their validation, too easy. Their attention, too available. Their praise, not earned. And that's when his obsession begins to feel personal. But wait, the next section explains what happens when he realizes he can't replace you. Still, there comes a moment, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, when he realizes something terrifying. Other women don't trigger me the way she does. And this realization hits every man hard, because suddenly, he can't walk away. He can't lose you. He can't unfeel the ego tension you created. He starts noticing he's checking his phone more, replaying your words, wondering what you're thinking, worrying about who else wants you. He becomes protective, attentive, more invested than he intended. Because the truth is, men don't fear losing love. They fear losing identity. And you've become part of his identity, the part that makes him strive, grow, and rise. When a woman becomes a man's mirror, his best and worst parts reflected back at him, he never forgets her. But here's the part most women never learn. You must know when to step back and when to step in. And that brings us to the strategy that seals the obsession permanently. The most powerful dynamic in male psychology is simple. Push, then pull. Pull, then push. Not randomly, not manipulatively, but rhythmically. Here's how it works. You challenge him, that's the push. You reward effort, that's the pull. You become busy, push. You create connection, pull. You express interest, pull. You set boundaries, push. This emotional rhythm keeps his ego activated, but never wounded. Curious, but never overwhelmed. Hooked, but never comfortable. And the beauty of this dynamic, it mimics the natural pattern of falling in love. Men fall in cycles, not in one moment. And the woman who controls the rhythm controls the attachment. By now, his ego sees you as the one person who makes him feel both safe and challenged, both desired and tested, both admired and pushed to improve. That duality is the exact formula of obsession, but nothing works unless you master the final step. And this last section is the real secret. Here's the truth most women never hear. A man falls in love when his ego feels better with you than without you. Not because you praise him, but because you elevate him. Not because you chase him, but because you awaken him. Not because you depend on him, but because you inspire him. The final trigger is simple. Be the woman he grows beside, not the woman he relaxes into. Show him softness, but don't give him comfort too quickly. Show him interest, but don't give him certainty instantly. Show him affection, but keep your standards untouched. This balance is rare, magnetic, irresistible. It turns his ego into a compass that points to only one person. You. Because you're not just a woman he wants. You're the woman his identity expands around. And when a man feels that, he doesn't just love you. He loves you madly, deeply, obsessively. And he'll spend the rest of his time trying to prove himself worthy of you. If you want to discover more sides of life, must subscribe.